Okay, we're going to finish our cost of goods sold budget by doing the calculations for the youth bats. If you've not watched the previous video for the calculations for the adult bats, you should watch that first. So again, the first task we need to do is, on a piece of scratch paper, create a TAccount for the youth bats. And again, these are in units, not dollars. We can't do the dollars until we know the units first. So the first thing we need to know is what is the beginning number of units in inventory? And these were the units that were manufactured last quarter and were not sold. Therefore, we're in our finished goods inventory as of December 31st of the previous quarter. So they become the beginning inventory of this quarter. So we have 650 youth bats. So on your piece of scratch paper, you can put 650 here. Now we have to figure out how many units we plan to sell this quarter. How many youth bats? So we can get that from the sales budget. I could scroll up from the sales budget, or I could just get the number from right here, 1,300 youth bats. So we would plug in 1,300 here. So the TAccount now looks like this. We plan to sell 1,300 bats. We already have 650 in inventory, so how many more are we going to have to build and sell to match the demand of 1,300? Well, you just take 1,300 bats sold minus the 650 in beginning inventory, gives us 650 bats that we need to build and also sell. So our TAccount now looks like this. So now we can calculate the cost. Remember, these are units. So, but to calculate cost of goods sold, it has to be in dollars. So to calculate the dollars, we're going to take these beginning inventory bats and figure out what their original cost was. Their original cost was right here, $17. So 17 times 650 bats gives us our data for right here. And then I will show you my calculation for that. So here's the calculation for beginning units. So this row corresponds with this row, and specifically this cell. So the 650 bats came from up here. Where did I get the $17 from? It came from this data here. So 650 bats times 17 equals 11,050. So I can plug in 11,050 here. Switching back to my screenshot, we are now working on the bats produced and sold this quarter. So those 650, follow the arrows. So we get 650 down here and times $18.50. Now notice these bats were produced and sold this quarter, in the first quarter. So how much is the cost per bat in this quarter? $18.50. And I'll show you where I got that from. Right here, which is the youth bats projected manufacturing cost for 2017. So I take the $18.50, which is right here, multiply it by the 650 bats that we're going to have to build and sell this quarter, and that gives us 12,025. So I can plug this 12,025 into here. So just so you see where it's coming from, this, I'm going to plug 12,025 in here, and it came from this data. Okay, and then to get this total, we just add these two up. We're going to get 23,075. To get this total, I'm going to add these two up, and I'm going to get 17,210. And to get this total, I'm going to add these two up. And I get 66,555. And to get this total, I add these two up for 83,765. And I should also double check, add these two up And they should also give me 83,765. So we're done with the hardest part of the operating budget. The cost of goods sold budget is by far the most complicated part. The next part is pretty easy.